Hey, hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing TB, so tuberculosis. It's a very big topic in world health and global health and public health because it's a real problem in many countries. I'll be discussing the all the different parts of it, the pathophysiology, the epidemiology, and then when I come toward the end of the video, I'll also be discussing some remedies, some things that can help. I'll also be discussing the possible side effects and the interactions with the medication and the treatment, and I'll also give some herbal treatments and some general foods and items that you can take in to prevent a TB infection and also to lessen the TB infection when you have it and to mediate the effects that TB has on your body. So let's get into it. As always, if you like this, please share it around. Comment, leave me a comment if you are interested, if you want to know more, and if you have any questions or if you want some specific help as well, you can also leave a comment. I'll be glad to get in touch and offer you some support or some knowledge or some information or some help in any form that I am able to. So without any further ado, let's start. So TB is an infectious disease. It's passed by droplets and can also be passed through animal fluid and animal products, especially milk and meat. So it's passed by the bacterium, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So it's what they all write as a short form MTB, Mycobacterium. So that is the name of the actual bacteria. And it's a very old bacteria. The first cases go back to ancient Egypt, where they found TB, the Mycobacterium, in mummies and in deceased remains. This bacterium can remain dormant for decades because it is acid and alcohol resistant, so it's very hard to kill. Then why is it a problem? So in the past, it was also known by different names, for example, consumption. So if you go back in history, TB was also called consumption. So there's a long history of this. So it's a problem because about 80% of the global population has latent TB. So it's there, but it's not causing disease. So only about 10% of these latent cases actually get active TB. So not 80% of the global population has TB. A third of the global population has TB. A third of the global population has latent TB. And of this population that has latent TB, 10% become active TB. So when we look at certain populations, TB is really spreading in Asia. It's becoming a really big problem in Asia. So in India, 40% have active TB. 40% of the population has active TB. 80% have latent TB. In South Africa, 737 cases per 100,000. So that's also quite severe, and there's 1.4 million deaths annually from TB. And of those, 58,000 are in South Africa. There are also 360,000 new cases of TB, active TB per year. And why this is also a problem in sub-Saharan Africa and in Asia especially is because it's connected with HIV. So 39% of TB sufferers also have HIV. So it's a disease that kind of piggybacks on any other disease that brings down your immunity. So TB will also piggyback on COVID-19 because COVID-19 depresses your immune system and also attacks the lungs. And that's primarily what the TB will do as well. So there's also a vaccine for TB, the BCG vaccine, which many countries get because TB is mostly fought by your memory immune cells. So if there's a memory in your body, a memory built up in your immune system, then your body is more effective in fighting the TB and suppressing it. So it's fought in that way as well with a vaccine, and then I'll get to the medication, the natural remedies, as well as the fruit and veg and certain lifestyles that might benefit as well. So 85% of the infection is in the lungs. So TB generally attacks the lungs, and it's an autoimmune attack. So it lowers your immune system so that it can then spread, and it can spread through detachment. When the mycobacterium detaches from its original site, then it moves throughout the body, and you can get metastasis to other parts of the body. It can go to, for example, the spine, the brain. It's been found in kidneys, liver, so you can find the spreading as well, especially in the HIV patients, where the spread happens more quickly and efficiently because the immune system is already dampened and the response is very slow. So there are about 9 million new cases of TB annually around the world, and this is really worrying because that's a lot, and especially with all the new infections and viruses and things popping up now, which are especially COVID, which is also affecting the lungs. TB can piggyback on that because it thrives in an immunosuppressed body, in an immunosuppressed environment. So this autoimmune reaction is very dangerous because it can create problems around your other body, around the rest of your body. You'll see now when I mention the symptoms, you'll see why it can be dangerous for other organs, and it can affect other diseases as well. So the symptoms include cough, chest pain, fever, hoarseness in your throat, decrease in weight, prolonged fever, as I said, immunosuppression, severe inflammation, night sweats, decrease in appetite, amenorrhea in women, spitting of blood, arrhythmia, heart arrhythmia, and breathlessness. So these, as you can see, will affect many systems in your body. You can get associated diseases going with this as well as vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Because the appetite is suppressed, there's a decrease in weight, breathlessness, arrhythmia, night sweats. So all of these can precipitate other diseases coming as well. So the treatment, there's no single treatment because of the bacteria being resistant to specifically acid and alcohol. So there's a combination of medication. So there's a first line and there's a second line when the first line has become ineffective. So it's called MDR or XDR TB, so multiple drug resistant TB. So an extreme drug resistant TB. So when you are taking your TB medication, you have to finish the whole course. Otherwise, the TB can mutate and change and then become resistant to that medication. So then there's only a few that can still work or be active. And then if you go into the community, you can actually be spreading this MDR or XDR TB as well that's resistant to drugs. So the main ones are rifampicin, ethambutol, isoniazid, and pyrazinamide. But these have severe side effects, and they also affect a whole list of vitamins and minerals. So I'll go through them quickly. So the side effects of isoniazid includes hepatitis, pain, vomiting, thrombocytopenia. So your blood cells get affected as well. It can also decrease or cause slow absorption of B12, niacin, vitamin D, E, calcium, magnesium, folic acid. So there can be other things that go along with medication as well. You can get fogginess in your brain, slow thinking. You can your memory can become affected as well, your cognitive function because of the B12 involvement. Then your skin, you can get rashes and dry skin. Your sleep can be affected because of vitamin D. Your immunity will also be affected. Then the next one, rifampicin, it has an influence on about the same vitamins and minerals, but it can also cause convulsions, headaches, dizziness, depression, and these side effects I got from the Kaiser Permanente Institute, which examined these medications and their side effects. Then there's also cycloserine and pyrazinamide. They have they cause also hepatitis, so lots of liver involvement, and you cannot have alcohol because of the liver involvement. It's really harsh on your liver, the treatment. And you are not supposed to eat food that has a lot of tyramine, which is mostly animal products, cheese, fava beans, cured and preserved products like sauerkraut, fermented meats, cheeses, those kinds of things. They have high levels of tyramine, so this can have an influence on the medication, and it can also accelerate the damage to your liver. Your kidneys can also be affected, but mostly you need to look out for, take extra vitamin D, E, K, calcium, magnesium, potassium 2, and niacin, as I said, B12, B3, B6, folic acid. So there's a whole range of things that you need to look out for and that you need to increase if you are on treatment. If you are on treatment, I would also suggest going on a plant-based diet because of the anti-inflammatory effects that it has, the immunomodulating effects that it has, and the high levels of vitamin C, D, E, A, and all of the others that I have mentioned, calcium, magnesium, potassium. The higher levels in a plant-based diet will help to protect your body against the ravages of these medications, because they are quite harmful to your body, because they have to be extremely strong to fight the bacterium, the mycobacterium TB. So the main causes of the spread or the disease progression of TB is a low immunity and an increase in inflammation. So basically what you want to do is you want to decrease the inflammation in your body, so you want to decrease the inflammatory state. So you want a lot of anti-inflammatory products, and you also want to boost the immunity, because TB thrives in an inflamed environment and a low immunosuppressed environment. So you need to focus on consuming or putting things into your body that will be anti-inflammatory, high in nutrients, high in fiber, and that will help to regulate or upregulate your immune system, help support your immunity. So what are those? So there are some studies done on Chinese medicine. I'm not going to mention the Chinese medicines because they are extremely complicated. They have complex mechanisms of action and they are hard to find usually. They are very dose specific and they come from plants that I am not really familiar with. And Chinese medicine or Eastern medicine can have a negative effect on your liver and your kidneys as well. And because of the effect that the medication already has on your liver, I will not go that route unless you are in contact with that physician on a regular basis. So the things that I will go for are more plant-based, as I said. So for example, you can include lots of seeds because they are high in all your vitamins and minerals, and they will also provide an anti-inflammatory, a highly anti-inflammatory environment, and help create that and help support your gut bacteria to downregulate the inflammation in your body. Then you can also include some exotic mushrooms, for example, lion's mane. You can also include something like chaga, which will be beneficial. I'll get to a few more later as well. So let me go through my list that I have here of possible herbal treatments or things that you can take in conjunction with your medication. So onions, the allium family will be very beneficial because they have a high sulfur content, and that will help to increase your immune system, and it can also help to eliminate toxins or harms in your body. It can also help to support your lymphatic system, because your lymphatic system is one of the main pathways to get rid of bacteria and disease and viruses. It produces the mucus that will go and bind and flush out all the problematic substances. So you need to get your lymphatic system moving as well. So lots of fluid as well, lots of fiber and exercise, movement. So the allium family will be very beneficial. So if you look at onions, garlic, you can also go the routes of shallots. There are different kinds of garlic as well that you can use. And you can also look at things like ginger, turmeric, even galangal or Thai ginger. Aloe vera is very beneficial both externally and internally. Then the curcumin family or the gourd or melon family, they are also very beneficial as it's a febrifuge, so it decreases, it brings down your fever, helps to control fever, and it's cathartic, it helps to relax and regulate your heartbeat as well, as TB can go with arrhythmia, sweating, and high fever too. The aloe vera can also help to soothe your gut bacteria, decrease the inflammation. It's also a purgative, so it helps to get rid of all the toxins, and it helps to upregulate your gut bacteria and to grow the healthy gut bacteria. In essence, we are bacterial farms. We have a lot of gut bacteria in our intestines and on our skin, and we want the beneficial bacteria to grow. Then the prunus family, they have an antihistamine effect. They are a carminative, and it's got a lot of fiber and a lot of minerals, so especially apricots. But you can look at the whole prunus fruit family, so apricots, plums, peaches, cherries. So that whole family will have a beneficial effect. Something like cherries will also support your urinary system. Then there's another one called holy basil or tulsi, which is a combination of basils that's used in Ayurvedic medicine or kind of an Indian medicine. And holy basil is a carminative, antispasmodic. It helps to regulate your hormone production. It's anti-rheumatic, so an anti-inflammatory, potent anti-inflammatory. And it also is an anti-asthmatic, so it stops that spasmodic movements in your lungs, so it can help calm and soothe your muscle movements and control your muscle movement. Then there are also a plant family called calencho, which can help to decrease your blood pressure and control the arrhythmia. It's also got a lot of fiber and a lot of minerals, so calencho is a good one. Some of the other ones I am not so sure of. I have them listed, but I'm not going to mention them because they also form part of the plant family that I'm not that familiar with, and that is generally from India. Then you can also look at turmeric, which is also a potent anti-inflammatory. Moringa, which has a lot of amino acids, so it can help support your system. It's also got high vitamin C. And you can also look at the various different kinds of berries, which are high in vitamin C, high in fiber, high in antioxidants, which will all help to support your body and help to support your immune system. Then, as I mentioned, you can look at garlic, ginger, tamarind as well. Tamarind is used in Indonesian medicine, traditional medicine. Tamarind is an astringent, so it helps to really draw in the bacterias and the viruses and the harmful substances, to draw them in and to excrete them, get rid of them. So tamarind can also have a purgative effect. It will really purge your system and your colon so that it can rapidly get rid of all the harmful substances. Then there's also something called an Indian plum, which is an anticholinergic, so it gets rid of the excess cholesterol in your body. So something similar would be a turmeric or a ginger in a if you cannot get these specific prunus plants. In general, I would suggest you just increase your intake of fruit and vegetables because they already have high amounts of vitamin C, high amounts of fiber, lots of antioxidants, flavonoids, anthocyanins in the different colors as well. So include a wide variety of fruit and vegetables, root plants as well, and include these herbal treatments or herbal medicines as well, like the turmeric, the ginger, aloe vera, like the pointed gourd from the cucurbit family, the calencho, the holy basil. Include some of these in your diet as well, along with herbs and spices, because these will all help to eliminate waste from your body, upregulate your immune system, help support it, and provide your body with loads of vitamin C, loads of fiber, loads of fluid. Seaweed is also one that is extremely beneficial because it has B12, it has all the minerals from the ocean as well, and high amounts of vitamin C and flavonoids, and it is anti-inflammatory. So all of these also have enzymes that are beneficial to your body and helps digestion and helps to get rid of harmful substances. So some other, just quickly, 3 other medications that could be used: streptomycin, kanamycin, and ethionamide. These can also be harmful to your body. They can harm your nerves, especially your ocular nerves and your ear. It can cause renal damage. So they are nephrotoxic and hepatotoxic. So the foods and the herbal remedies that I have suggested will also support your liver and support your kidneys in their function, and it will help to eliminate toxins so that your liver does not have such a high workload. So if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. You can also email me. My email would be in the description as well. If you want the references for what I've just talked about, I have those as well. I can share them with you too. So as always, stay healthy, and to God be the glory. Goodbye.